Hello.
Right.
Hello.
My first question is, how do you protect your digital footprint from the internet and every site you visit?
Yes, it's a good question. There are a lot of things that you can do. There are things you can do just periodically, let's say daily, weekly, monthly. For example, you can clear your cookies in your browser, you can clear your browsing history. I like to think of it as spring cleaning, just periodically clean things up. But also it's good to go look through what you actively post on social media because that's what you have the most control over. So this is one way you can go through and look, is there any personal detail I'm not comfortable about being online out there? Are there, for example, identifying information that you wouldn't want the wider world to know? Just those kinds of periodic checks are one of, I think, the easiest and also most effective ways to protect your digital footprint.
Yeah. And what are the biggest threats in TikTok for young people that they follow?
I think the biggest thing is just the prevalence of mis and disinformation. It's not the platform's job, of course, to regulate the content that is there specifically, but the results of the lack of regulation is you often get content that is misleading or not fact-checked, that is not from trustworthy sources. Sometimes something that's an opinion is presented as a fact, and that can be really hard, especially on TikTok where there's short-form videos, to understand that this is just somebody's personal opinion. This isn't something based on rigorous study and all of this. So from my perspective as someone who used to be on TikTok, engaged with TikTok a lot and now is not on it, that's the biggest thing I've found is the content is it's very easy to get kind of sucked in and into this misleading content because it's just such a short form and the videos are so speedy, you kind of just get, your attention is grabbed and you can fall into just sort of blindly believing what you're hearing and what you're seeing if you're not thinking carefully and slowing down with the information you engage with. So from my perspective, this is one of the biggest threats.
Yeah, and how do we become victims of propaganda and disinformation?
Especially young people.
Yeah.
Especially young people. Yeah, it's a good question. Mainly I think it is, as I said, just not thinking before or as you're engaging with something. It's so easy to turn your brain off, and I call it passively scroll. You're just scrolling and you're consuming the ideas, but you're not thinking carefully about them. This is very natural. This is what our brains, are meant to do when we are scrolling and when we are engaging with so much content all the time. But it's important to fight that instinct, I think, and just slow down and think about what we're engaging with, and don't be afraid to take the time to do some further research, to ask some more questions, to find credible sources of information. It's totally fine to get all your news from TikTok. I think this is normal now, or any social media, but you have to know it's not, as we said, vetted information, trusted information. So you also need to take the extra time and step to go to trusted sources for that information. And hopefully soon we will be seeing more measures on these platforms that will at least flag if something is maybe misleading content, or to flag if it's politically funded. Those things are going to help us get better at engaging with it passively and not just blindly sort of listening and believing. But until we have those tools, unfortunately, a lot of the work is going to be on us to follow up and to think critically. But also you have to think about what you're sharing and what you're amplifying. It's very easy to think I'm just one person. It doesn't really matter if I share this with my friends, but as we all know, it can just get away from us as well. So these are some things I think young people in particular can think more about nowadays.
Yeah. Since you said you were based in London, and earlier when you were explaining about the digital footprint, you said you like coffee a lot. What's your favorite coffee place in London? Maybe to recommend.
Ooh, that's a good one. For me, I have many local spots by me. I don't know if they have this here. I think I've seen it actually. Matcha is really popular here now.
Yeah.
It's really popular in London. So lots of cafes by me have all these different matcha drinks. There's this one place they do matcha with fresh strawberry. Really good combination. So check out a place that they have it here that will make a drink like that.
I noticed actually that many young people my age really don't have any critical thinking. They see something on TikTok and oh, that's 100% right and correct. I don't need to doubt it. I just saw it. That person is not lying, and they believe so many stupid things and don't even check them.
Yes.
And many disinformations and stuff happen online, which are I don't know, some of them are so stupid,
Yeah.
but people just listen to what they say.
I understand. It's easier to just blindly believe, and
Yeah.
it takes time to slow down and to look more into things. So I understand why it happens, and as we said, your brain can't keep up with so much information, so you kind of just blindly accept it, and it's very hard. The hardest part for me is thinking about videos, especially on TikTok, that this could just be an opinion. It's so easy to just think this is an expert talking to me and they've done their research, but I have no idea that that's true. And to always be questioning a little bit, is this just someone's opinion based on how they feel that day instead of a lot of rigorous research? But it's very hard. This is why I'm increasingly off social media, because it is a skill that you have to practice. So it's good you guys are here to practice it, honestly.
Yeah. And many people since there's a lot of propaganda on TikTok,
Yes.
and they believe something, and when someone tells them the opposite thing, like with facts and everything, they just don't even listen. They start calling them mean names or mean stuff, and it's, I don't know, really funny to me how people just can't listen to other people's opinion and and just get other perspectives.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think I share in that disappointment that you've said, and I also noticed too, I think there's kind of a strategy there to just create so much noise, and like you said, just calling people names and filling all of our algorithms with such junk, then you can't see the real good conversations that are happening, and that makes me sad because social media can be such a positive thing, especially for the topics we all care about, but it's hard that it's not being used that way a lot of the time, and there's so much noise and junk out there to wade through. So it's a shame how it's gone, but it's I think going to get better. I think there's a lot of effort now to change some of these things and not let it be just a wild west, But it takes time. It takes time. Yeah. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah.
It will.
It will. We should believe it.
Yeah, Grace. Well, you did wonderful. You're natural, so this is good. It takes time, you're practicing, but this is a good first step, and you should keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.